Hey guys, this is Scott from Get 10,000 Fans, and we are here live with Michael Gebben. So Mike is a good buddy of ours. We've got a chance to know and get to know over the last couple of years and work closely and help him build some stuff up. He's actually been the guy who's been creating all the awesome videos you guys have probably watched. If you've ever seen anything that looks even quasi-professional, like it wasn't shot on an iPhone, Michael is the guy who has been shooting for us. So he's shot for some awesome dudes. He's hung out with Tony Robbins. He's hung out with I'm totally blanking. He's been to Necker
Richard
Island
Branson.
with Richard Branson.
Yeah.
This guy knows some serious folks. So anyway, Mike, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate taking
Thanks,
some time
buddy.
out. It's on Saturday here. So anyway, so Mike, what is your guys? We're going to talk specifically about one of the new businesses you just started up in the last couple of days. What's the URL there? If you were going to send somebody your way to check some stuff out,
if they want to check out what we're doing right now and what we're really implementing, what we're going to talk about today, it's handcraftedbusinessfilms.com.
There we go.
So it's basically, teaching people how to create kind of the videos that if you link any of them up, like you see from me, is just business promotional videos and make them look awesome. So,
and if there was a plug, we could give any kind of plug for Michael, it's like that everything that he's made for us has made us that much more professional looking and has really brought a lot of really cool results. So if you're looking to kind of do that for your business, check that out. Handcraftedbusinessfilms.com, right? Is that it?
That's
check it out.
You got
cool.
it, buddy.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So we just have a couple quick questions. The first one we always start with is, how did you first meet us at Get 10,000 Fans? How did you first meet Brian, meet me? What was like your first exposure to us? Obviously, we now have hung out in person a couple times too, so we can go into some of that. But what was the first time? Yeah.
It was. I honestly think that you guys really just had 10 or 20,000 fans.
Yeah, way back.
The old. How Facebook used to look.
Yep. Oh man, so many changes ago.
So much. You had your little cartoon character and stuff,
yep.
And I started looking things up, and then I think things changed a little bit. I got away from it. I kept kind of seeing it from time to time popping up, but then actually Brian was on, a guy who I was just Garland. From the Rise to the Top. He lives, near me in St. Louis, Missouri. And Brian was on and was talking about Kat, his sister, your sister.
Yep.
And this 5-figure photographer. And I looked at it and I'm like, I can do that. And so I started a little journey. And then 2 months later, I actually met Brian at an Underground Online Seminar.
Mm-hmm.
A year later is when we actually met and we hung out in person.
Yep.
And,
we brought you out and did a bunch of video stuff for us. And we talked about your funnel and your business. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had a thing going on at that time that I really took off, and then flash forward now to the present, which is where we're at today. I've really been able to take all the knowledge that you guys have taught me, and we've had some awesome results. So I know
awesome. Now, that's the next question. The next question is, kind of before and after, a lot of stuff that we've always talked with you guys about in laying out your business, and you've run with it and taken your own spin and stuff on things. Is what we talk about inside of our big course, is the fan page funnel, right? And so really for the story we want you to tell is this new venture you guys started out on, 60 days ago, 90 days ago?
Well, it was actually, time flies, but it was beginning of March is when we started getting
5
sales.
months, something like that, 4 or 5 months, yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5 months. And what's so cool, and what I really want to encourage everybody out there is, for me, the online marketing space, these online sales, something you can work really hard to produce and then, make money off of. Like for me, I've always traded time for dollars, so if I wasn't shooting a wedding, shooting an event, then I wasn't getting paid. And I always, thought, gosh, it would be so cool. I mean, that stuff's still great. It's not that I want to kill all of that. And I've made great connections and, awesome things have happened. But I've always thought, man, how cool would it be to take my expertise and help others? I couldn't quite crack that code. And honestly, when I met Brian and you guys last year and we hung out and we mapped out the funnel, exactly what you do in the fan page funnel, like I came back and with that business, we got results that took us 1.5 years to get, we got in 6 weeks. And then now I'm in this new business, which is the Handcrafted Business Films. And, we started running ads and no one knew who we were. And this is the cool thing for people listening, so many times, I mean, there's a million ways. And honestly, the one thing I want to say is pick something and do it. Because what I've found is when you do a million things, you get really crappy results.
Nothing.
You get nothing. And so for me, people tell you can blog and you could, blog all the time. Or you got like Derek Halpern's mentality, which is, blog a few times a month, but then promote it. And you got YouTube videos, you got Twitter, you got Instagram, you got all these things. And honestly, what I found from all of them is it's great to have that, but it's the slow and steady, long-term, way of doing it. Because really, I've never gotten results from any of those that were so instant that literally today I can turn it on, and depending on how you do it, by the end of the day, I could be profitable. I could already be making money from it. And so what we did is we started from ground zero. I mean, we had 0 fans on this fan page at Handcrafted Business Films. And so February, or end of February, beginning of March, we're at about 8,400 right now.
Awesome.
And that is 100% pretty much actually driven by ads. And the stuff I'm getting ready to tell you is driven by ads, then with your funnel in place as well. But essentially, so many times we complicate it. We think we need all the fancy stuff I just mentioned, and you need fancy web designers and all this stuff to really get up and running. And it puts a block on us where we won't move forward because we don't have the knowledge, we don't have the money, we don't have the expertise, whatever. And so we started with the fan page, lead pages, actually. So we did the ad to a registration page, to a thank you page, and then emails went out. And believe it or not, for anybody listening, so some people think, you got to use GoToWebinar. We ran, so you're going to get to hear the number here shortly, but we ran all of our webinars on Spreecast.
Ooh.
Total out of the, So anyways, so that was the components is all we had.
Right.
We run the ads, and then essentially we do the webinar, and a lot of times we were running the ads based on, knowledge I learned from you guys. We ran the ads, and at 6 o'clock at night, we could have 0 leads. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon the following day, we would do the webinar, and we'd have like 900 leads. We'd have like 500 people show up, and
so not only are you finding people, but you are clearly finding the right people
and targeting it right. Yeah. Which again, learning from you guys, and then building a list. So we actually built Spreecast followers. We built our fan page. We built an email list, and we built customers, and we delivered massive value on that webinar. And we would be spending the money on the ads, and that next day we'd be profitable. And the cool thing is, what we talked about beforehand, is so many think you need this huge budget. Now, I will say, because of a little bit prior knowledge, because I didn't do this last year when I was running some stuff, but this year I was confident enough that I knew we would sell something. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how much. I didn't know how well it would do, but I knew it'd be okay. So the first time we spent $500, I think it was.
Right, which is still a pretty relatively small budget. I mean, you're not talking tens of thousands yet.
Right, and here's the math. If it's $297 for the course, you sell 2.
You need 2 customers, and you're good. You break even.
And we got, I think, 200 or 300 opt-ins.
Yeah,
actually, and we did that, and it went really well. And so we've done basically since March, since that first one, we've done over 6 figures in sales. Now, I will say, because the thing a lot of people don't talk about is I can talk about the 6 figures. You could talk about $1 million. You could talk about all these things, but how much did you make?
Right. Yeah, how absolutely. Much did we take At the end of the day, if there's not a profit there,
we could have made 6 figures and spent
6
figures and a half on ads, right? So, we've spent a pretty good chunk. We've been profitable. We've built up a list of almost 10,000, actually almost 12,000 now email addresses. So 12,000 email addresses. We've got 8,400 likes on our fan page, and we've got about 600 customers that have come through.
Awesome.
And, so like I said, we've got to be willing. I mean, the thing you guys taught me is, the difference maybe between the boys and the men is the boys are getting results, and they'll keep spending minuscule amounts of money on the ads, even though they're getting a result. Mm-hmm. And you've got to sell something great as well. I mean, you guys have great products. A lot of the guys who are successful, you got to have something great. You don't want to run ads to a crappy product or to nothing at all, because that's the biggest thing that you taught me as well, is you don't, for me personally, I would never run ads as a whole or spend a lot on ads that aren't running to something that I can turn a profit very quickly.
Right. Like you talk about having 8,400 fans, but goodness, was that ever probably not the focus of your advertising campaign? You get fans as a nice byproduct, right?
Exactly.
But really, you're spending money to build this list. You guys have built a list of 10,000 in about 4 months. I mean,
so now we can send out an email and do $12,000 of sales of pure profit. Exactly. Instead of giving some people some math, we might spend 3,000 or 4,000 and maybe we only make 5 or 6. Like now, we just did a retargeting to our fan page. Mm-hmm. So the 8,000 now that we've built up as a byproduct, as you mentioned, $80 $3,000 in sales
Nice.
instead of, like I said, 3,000 cold and maybe doing 4 or 5,000. So that's not bad for anybody out there. But again, that idea that the cold traffic isn't going to be necessarily as profitable, but it's a long-term game. I mean, hopefully anybody listening isn't just like, I got to make money quick. It's I'm building an audience. I want to deliver value to them. And then over the long haul, this will be a nice business.
Exactly. So that is, of course, the main tenets of the fan page funnel, right? Is that it's not you can't be a one-stop shop, right? You say about the difference between the men and the boys. The men know, again, obviously there are ladies watching this as well. Anybody who is just playing around in the kiddie pool or swimming in the deep end, right? Yeah, exactly. Anybody, plenty of ladies out there doing great. But the ability to make money off of paid traffic. If you can make money off paid traffic, then if you're doing blogging on the side, if you're doing that kind of stuff, you're going to do just fine.
Well, Scott, I got to stop you for 1 second because anybody out there, the craziest thing for me, what do you put money into that you guys talked about it? When people haven't experienced it, you haven't done it, you think it's crazy, but what do you put $1 into that you get $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 back? There's not too many things. I've just been doing all these interviews actually with Tony, and it's about these investors. We were like with Charles Schwab and all these big investors. Even them at times can't get the kind of returns that if you can do it right with the ads, so it's crazy. But I mean, I want to say one other thing for people. Now we spent a ton in the beginning, but we've learned now that a sweet spot that I've learned from some of the biggest, most awesome guys in the industry, you've got to find that sweet spot when you're running to a specific niche, you can't be spending, even if it is converting, you can't be spending $2,000 and $3,000 a day, even if you want to. We found our sweet spot at about $350 a day right now is what we're able to spend and be profitable. When we went up to $450 even, it started to get less profitable. And so anyways, but you just got to test and tweak, but you can start small. I mean, a lot of guys start talking 10, 20 bucks in a day. And if you do it right and you follow your formula and don't deter and try all these millions of different things, just do it, just follow the steps.
No, it's funny is our very first ad campaign for our baseball training site way back when was exactly $10 a month. Is what we were like, what could we possibly spend? And we're thinking like, we're going to go broke spending $10 a month. And then of course, obviously, when you put certain things in place, and you guys have done a great job of doing that in your own business and taking it for yours, is you see the results. So no, that's great, dude. You guys have been able to be profitable while building a list of subscribers that at any point in time you guys can go hit them, and there's your profit for the month is in a couple emails to your customers, to your leads, that kind of stuff. So that is a killer example you guys have put together in just a couple months. So
and guys, I just no BS here, guys, because I mean I get so irritated by things out there of kind of lying and deceit. And I used to hear things, and you hear things like what I'm talking about, and you think that's a bunch of BS, or you had this, or you had that. No one knew who we were. Yeah. Like people were showing up to the webinar, and these people didn't know us 30 minutes earlier. And the big point, though, people, is deliver massive value. Don't scam people. Give everything you've got. All right, next question.
There you go. All right, sweet. Well, that leads us into the last question. The last question we'll ask is, what is kind of your big takeaway of the things that we've been able to help you out with? And again, you guys have done such a great job of innovating and taking the creativity of your own people and taking our ideas and putting your spin to get your results. But really, if there was something you were going to say to somebody who's thinking about diving into the fan page funnel, or somehow or another listening to me and Brian, right, get to 1,000 fans, what would you say to them? What is your big takeaway? What is your maybe one of the biggest things you were worried about that has now been kind of like silenced? What is it?
Yeah. People are afraid that it won't work for them. People are afraid that they're not in a, make money niche or the internet marketing specifically. What I've been, I will say, I'm transitioning more into, I love sales and marketing. And my other thing, we didn't talk about my motivational side of things that I do. I love inspiring people, right?
Geb's juice.
Yeah. And so, but the thing is, like, at the core of this product is videographers, and it's a training on how to make better videos. And ultimately that's a byproduct. Then you'll be able to make more money. But, this specific course is just how to, make better videos for video professionals.
Definitely.
And I think the big fear was, are there enough people out there?
Right.
And the thing about it is I think that what people take for granted is depending on what something is priced at. Like, my girlfriend's friends with some YouTubers and stuff that sell buttons, they're like 99 cents. It takes a lot of buttons to make $100,000, right? But when you're selling something that's, anywhere from $100 to $500 to $1,000, it doesn't take that many customers to make $100,000. It
Right.
doesn't take a lot to be profitable with the ads. And remember what I said: 2 customers, and if we spent $500, we made a profit. And if you do things right, you follow your directions, you're going to get more than 10 people to show up to a webinar or to a video or something. So if you're delivering massive value, hopefully you can get at least a couple people to buy your program or your services. And so for me, it's just like, just give it a try. And I know you guys stand behind your stuff, and guys, reach out to me if they haven't gotten a hold of you, if they won't get back to you. But I mean, you guys have huge hearts. After getting out to hang out with you guys, I mean, the people who have gotten to even personally interact with you, like, I went to the live event. I mean, the people love you guys. You guys get big hearts to deliver massive value. So follow what they're saying, because what people will fail is if you guys, I know not all of you will have the privilege to have one-on-one, but I know that what's in the course, I've seen the course and everything, it's very similar to what I got personalized, but at the same time is I went and I took massive action. You guys can buy every course known to man, and from them or even other people, if you trust them more, it doesn't matter. Like, if you don't take action and do what someone says, you will get no results.
Definitely.
I went back last year, and what took us a year and a half to make, we made in 6 weeks, because I went back and implemented exactly what you guys told me to do, and we got results. And I mean, that's the big thing. So many people will go through, let's call it a 6-week course. They're going to go through 2 weeks. They stop. They take no action. They're pissed off at you because they didn't get any results.
Right. Who are they pointing fingers at? Yeah.
I mean, you point fingers at yourself. I mean, I love motivating. That's the thing, guys. Take action. These guys, put out great stuff. They put a lot of effort into it, and just please take action.
There we go.
And then if you don't get results from that, then go ask for your money back. No.
There we go. There you go. Then you have my permission, right?
Yeah,
that's
right.
Awesome. Sweet. Okay, awesome. Well, that's it, man. So this is handcraftedbusinessfilms.com. If any of you guys out there are looking to do awesome video stuff, you could not learn from a better person, a better individual than Michael Gebben. And I guess who's your partner on this one? I actually don't even know.
Yeah, I'll tell you that real quick. What's funny is actually the course is mainly created by Mark Wonderland, who I trained 3 years ago. And just from my personal training, he built a 6-figure video business up.
Dude, how about
and then
that,
now
man?
he's put a training together. So,
awesome.
And gebstv.com if you guys want to actually see my work,
Gebs
so you
TV?
know what.
And the podcast is Geb's Juice, right? Isn't that
Geb's Juice?
Geb's
And my
Juice?
YouTube is youtube.com/Michael Gebben.
Check it out, man. You guys got great motivational stuff, great video stuff, and no, couldn't hang out with a better dude. So anyway, Mike, appreciate the time, dude. Really, thanks a lot for
Thanks so much,
the good words, and we'll catch you again.
You guys rock.
All right. Yep.